This week, Motorhead Garage takes a right turn from how-to as we look at what is in truck show territory. For the next 2 episodes, we'll be showcasing Southern California's finest classic Chevy pickups at the Brothers Truck Parts Show.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blastin'. Now we took a trip out west to Brothers Trucks, and I'm with the man himself, Steve Flanders. Steve, looking around this showroom, you guys have everything and cater to all kinds of trucks. Give us a little insight of what you guys got going on here.
Well, we've been in business since '95, so we've been doing this a long time. And we started initially doing 47 through 72, but then when the 73 to 87 body style got popular, we added that to the line. And we do carry everything, like literally wiring, body panels, weather seals, trim, I mean, all the way down to custom parts that we design and develop here at Brothers, and as well as custom parts that other people design and develop. It's the entire gamut of classic Chevy and GMC truck stuff here. And you know, we'd like to focus on customer service and stuff as well.
And Steve, you know, what's most impressive to me, we didn't have to go to a remote location and find you in a suit somewhere. I mean, you're here on the ground. I mean, I've watched you test fit parts, engineer parts, I mean, sales, no matter what it is. I mean, you're right here.
Yeah, that's it. I'm here, I got my flip-flops on and I'm ready to rock and roll every day. And like you mentioned, we're back in the tech center a couple days a week, testing parts out and shooting information videos as well as instructional videos. So yeah, man, we're right here in the trenches.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hey, also you guys put this show and shine on. Tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, we're in our 18th year. It started as just sort of a, hey, let's get together in our parking lot kind of thing. We had a new building and we wanted to bring a bunch of people in and kind of let them see what our new place looked like. And it outgrew that the first year and we moved it to local park. And we've had it 18 years now, and it's actually the largest Chevy and GMC truck gathering in the United States at this point, with nearly 500 vehicles we're targeted for this year.
Wow, you got some vendors out there as well?
Yep, got vendors out there. We have fun for the kids, fun for the wives, fun for the men, and man, classic trucks coming out our ears over there now.
Hey, that sounds perfect. You know what we need to do? We'll head out to the show, check out some vehicles, maybe factory new looking vehicles that are old, to modified vehicles. We'll see it all. So let's head out and check it out.
I have a 1954 original Hydromatic. Originally, they came out with this series only in '54 with a 4-speed automatic. It was a first year made. In 1955, they made the same series. So we have a first series 1954 Hydromatic. Very rare vehicle. Where the other trucks has a pedal to start it, this one's the only one that has a push button. They made 5,000 of them. There's parts out there, but very expensive. I bought the truck sight unseen, brought it home. I've done 95% of the work. I've done it in my garage. I sandblasted it, I painted it. There's a couple of things, like the transmission I had to have rebuilt, but the motor I rebuilt it myself. We try to stay subtle with the vehicle, not too over-aggressive. I wanted something different. I noticed that every time I went to a truck shop, it was over amount of chrome. It just too gaudy. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do a black theme. And so my wife wanted a tan color and I wanted yellow. And so we kind of came in the middle, and that's where the color that we have now. It's kind of a funny color. It worked out for what we wanted, and then with the black, I think that it offsets the color. We gave it just a little bit of chrome just to give it a little bit of accent. I use this as a daily driver, and this was actually a showroom floor car. What they used to do was, when it was a showroom truck, they would put a pinstripe on the bed around the Chevy emblem. And so I left that, it's still there. I used that thing to do the vehicle. And so I did give it a little bit of flair, but not overbearing flair. We did the interior. We did it twice. It was kind of more of a like a rat rod style. It wasn't really towards the original. That was one of the things that I did change. I have a upholstery guy do that for me. He kind of guided me. He said, look, why don't we do this? We work together. And the thing is, with this car, when it makes it original, is that the floorboard, you have access to check the transmission fluid. Because it was so original and so rare, that I had to kind of go in that way. And so that's what we ended up with. we wanted to try to stay as close as we could. Those are original Krager rims. Those are original Krager caps. We just kind of modified them. Actually, when I purchased them, Krager said that those caps would not work. And so I said, well, I'm gonna try it. And the lady wouldn't even sell them to me. I had to call back and then buy them another time. And so it worked out perfect. But those are as closest that I could get is original to at least the 70s, you know. It's the love of the truck. I like to take something that's broke down and beat up and make it work. And so that's what we got here. It's been a long road, but you know, last year we were actually on our way here and broke down and we had to have it towed home. So this year I said, I'm gonna tow it and we'll get here, at least, you know, we know we're here, and my boys and I, we put a lot of love into it.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Riff Raff Diesel Performance, taking your truck from mundane to insane on a budget. Lock her down. Security you need, quality you deserve. Machinist Made, dedicated to bringing new revolutionary cleaning products to the market. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Well, at Brothers Trucks, I mean, they have grills, lights, put it all together, you're gonna be seen. Speaking of being seen, we're gonna head back out to the show and shine and take a look at some of those trucks.
That's a 69 GMC. That was my son's first vehicle he ever had. And so that was like 25 years ago, maybe. Yeah, but it wasn't like that. It had a little 307, you know, the old GMC green. It's got a 427 out of a 68 GM car. I set the motor back and down, and I've got 68 Camaro taillights in it, and I redid the dash to my own little taste. Got the old houndstooth, I believe they call it, the interior, orange, and tilted the front end, of course. Fiberglass hood with stock fenders, and just reworked completely off frame. Everything was tore apart. Went to my wildest imagination, and that's what I came up with. Because when I was younger, back when Caltrans had those trucks and they used to auction them off, I had one of them, and I always wanted to do something like this, you know, because you used to see 55 Chevys with tilt front ends. Well, I wanted one of these with a tilt front end, and finally did it. That's actually my fourth paint job. I can tell you where not to take anything to paint, you know what I mean? My buddy of mine, Steve Castro, he painted it. I told him I wanted flames in it, and I wanted something bright, you know. He just, no, let's do something ghost. I said, okay, go ahead. You know, I said, do what you think, you know. He put a bronze pearl with a Tangelo orange in it. I took it out and raced it here about a month ago, and it did all right, you know, a 1290, which I'm sure to do better. Part of that was just me, you know, all nervous and everything, you know, but it was fun. Had a lot of fun doing it.
It's a 1950 and it's a 3100. The engine and everything is good, but I changed the engine. I put a 350 in there, and it's got a Camaro clip in the front, and then I have a 400 rear end Super Sport Camaro. Now that's some air conditioning I'm trying to put in right now. I haven't put it in, but it's on its way. It's on its way. I'm just figuring it out. Yeah, it took a lot of work. It took me about a good 12 years, I guess. Body work, it was bad, but I took it to East LA. This was in the hood of East LA, where they got pit bulls running around the yard. And they really did a good job. The details I got done in Anaheim, the pinstripe, I wanted just a little bit of pinstripe, and that's right there in the front. I used to be a mailman, I'm retired now, and I got a little Felix the Cat with a satchel, if you look in the back. Just something simple, not a lot of things on it. The rest is black and chrome. I'll never get it painted black again, man. It's some work. I mean, I'm talking about fingerprints, anything, you know, rub on it. Just original, you know, I mean, that's the way I wanted to do it. So I said, that's the route I'm going.
It's a 64 Chevrolet C10. And it belonged to my grandfather. He bought it back almost in 64. He did buy it used. And when I was a 6-year-old kid, they had a stake bed on the back of it. And he would make me load it with weeds, grass, and whatever else he got me doing work with, and unload it at the dump. I had bought the truck from my grandfather. You know, another generation later, I had my son with me going to the dump with Dad. He's got a 10-year-old son now. And we're going to see if we can't take him to the dump one more time, but it probably won't be in this. I unfortunately have no talent, and I had to hire everything done on this. I did little odds and ends, but most of it was done by the skilled craftsmen of the San Marcos, San Diego County area. The floor pans had to be replaced. The inside of the doors, some of that was gone too, and so all that welding had to be done before we could get it to primer, and then after that, I did a lot of work on the inside. The entire roof was rusted. The entire cab inside was like that. Some poor guy had to sit in there working like crazy, sanding it away, and finally they did a nice job. It looks great. It's a House of Colors candy apple red with ghost flames. I always liked that color ever since I was a little kid, and so when I had the opportunity to redo the truck from an old burnt out orange powder paint job, I had a house in San Marcos, California, a black oxide processing business, but in the back he does little paint jobs. He does SEMA cars back there sometimes. I've got nothing but compliments all day long, and lots of other shows too. So I put air conditioning, and it's got 4-wheel disc brakes on it. I mean, I made it a really comfortable car. It's a cruiser now. My son was first in line. He now has a 16-year-old daughter that's working on her driver's license. So granddaughter, Allura, is, hey Gramps, could I have that truck? So we'll see what her dad and her work out, you know.
We've seen some great show vehicles here in this episode. We'll have more when we come back with Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now here at Brothers Trucks, you can get a small emblem like this, or you can get large fenders and a bed. You can actually get an entire cab for different year makes and models. It's that attention to detail, and that attention to detail is what that show and shine's all about. So let's get out there and check out some of those trucks.
It's a 1965 Chevy Suburban, and also I have a 1964 GMC pickup. You guys not gonna believe it, but it's gonna be fast what I wanna tell you. I get this truck from Pomona Swamin. Nobody believed me to wanna see the pictures. And hey, we did a nice job with the painter guy. He helped me out, and my kid and I. It took us 2 years to do this, and I'm really proud of my boy and myself. The floor is a 1-inch plywood with finished teak wood or whatever they call. And what I did, I just put a little bit of love in it, like varnish, more varnish, and more varnish. And the ceiling, I buy a 1/4-inch plywood, and I did the same thing. The guy did the upholstery for me. I just tell him what I want, and he did it the way I like it. He matched everything, the color, the way it is in the interior, and everything. So really happy. Paint, the green is light green with a white top, like the way you see in it. But yeah, that's original colors. It's not the original color in that truck, but I picked that one because it's pretty, I don't know, I like it. I like the way it is, and that's the original. But yeah, it is from 60 to 66. Paint guy, when I take it over there and I tell him what I want, he's telling me, man, you crazy. You want so many colors and one vehicle. I say, hey, that's what I want. Can you do it? He said, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, find the middle seat. It's really hard to find them, and if somebody has one, just keep it or sell it for big bucks because it's not cheap. Well, I have that one for like, I don't know, 18 years, and I just always using it for work. Right away, I'm a plumber, and put a rag in it. I was doing my work with that truck many years ago. Bought it from an old guy, and it was yellow, and it looks like he painted it with a roller or something. So I decided to pick these colors, and that's what I got now. I had it fixed for like, say, 8 years ago. The hard work on this one, put the wood floor in the back. It was kind of challenged, so. People think it's easier and everything, but it's not. So you have to pre-drill the wood and everything, you know. That's the colors from that, you know, like from that era. So, and that's the reason I picked those colors. I don't want to change much. I'm one of the guys keep stock as possible. That's the way I am. I don't like to change too much. My wife, she bring the wreck truck today, so she was driving it. This is the first time in many years I tell her, hey, I need to take both. So come on, you're not letting me down. He says, yeah, I'm driving it. I have another one, yes. I got a 1971 Ford Mustang Mach 1. I just bought it not long ago. It's already fixed up and everything. I've been in other shows with that car, and I get some trophies with it. And actually, I tell my kid he's going to graduate from high school in a couple years, and that's going to be his car. That's going to be his present after he graduates.
Time now to connect with GarageSocial. This week, meet RJ Valentine, racer and entrepreneur.
How do you become fast? What you're really doing is controlling something that's out of control. I'm RJ Valentine. I'm a car enthusiast. I've been doing business since the early 70s and started racing in 1975. As a child, I was always playing with cars. That evolved into rebuilding engines, taking cars apart, and then came racing. There's nothing I've ever done in my life that's like racing. The heat and everything goes away when you have that perfect lap. And when you win, there isn't any feeling in the world better than winning. I'm pretty competitive, particularly at my age. I wasn't doing 100% of my time. I was building businesses at the same time I was racing. Driving cars is kind of like business. You have to look at the vision thing and say, where am I going? Where am I going to land? On a track, as an example, in business is the same dichotomy. For more information on me, check out my profile on GarageSocial.com.
Now, RJ Valentine is a businessman. He's involved from everything from batteries to barriers. Now, Marianne, he's been messing with cars since 1975?
That is correct. RJ Valentine, the ultimate race car enthusiast. He's been in the racing scene for nearly 4 decades now. He is both a businessman and a race car driver. He usually goes by the saying, if it doesn't have tires or makes noise, it doesn't appeal to him.
Now, like RJ Valentine says, if you're controlling something that's out of control, you're probably an avid car person. So log on to GarageSocial.com and share your story. More of the brothers show and shine when we come back with Motorhead Garage presented by Dustless Blasting.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Automotive Touch-Up. Make your ride look new again. Jib Safety Cable Fastener, the only tool-free, corrosion-free battery cable fastener. Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. And by Brothers Truck Parts, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, we saw some awesome trucks out at the show and shine. And Steve, you got an awesome truck up your sleeve here, a project that we're going to do for 13 weeks. That's going to be coming up later in the season on Motorhead Garage. Share a little bit about it.
64 Chevy truck. It's a long bed. It's rusty. It's beat down. It's a hay hauler. We're going to turn it into a hot rod. Affectionately calling it 18.8 here at the shop, which harkens back to taking 18% chromium, 8% nickel, and turning steel into a better performing, better looking, rust-free stainless steel.
And that's what this truck's going to be. I mean,
That's
when
right.
you get done, I've seen some of your work. I mean, it's gorgeous. Probably going to be some of that show quality.
That's right. Hey, we're going to do what we can. We're going to come out with something that's lower, better performing, and rust-free at the end, I hope.
Man, I'm looking forward to be part of that. Hey, let's get back out to the show and shine and check out some more of these phenomenal trucks.
A 1964 Chevy C10. Most people see it from a distance and they're like, oh, okay, it's under construction. And then when they get up close to it, they see the 3 coats of clear on there and like, whoa, what is that? Never see it. Yeah, but this was the look I'm going for. There was quite a bit of it there, but what we did is we sanded it to bring it out more. There was a few holes in the bed, just filled them in, sanded it, and that's just more character. The fender skirts, very hard to find. I didn't even know they made them for this year truck, and I found them at the Pomona swap meet. That is the only thing that's been painted on this truck. I've seen other trucks like this, but when they put a clear on it, they use a matte clear, which is something that you see all the time. I want to do something different. I want it shiny because they don't see that. So I came up with that. I said, let's do at least 3 coats of clear, and that's what we did, and it came off perfect. everywhere I take it, there's always a crowd of people around it looking at it, scratching their head, rubbing their chin, and touching it, because look how shiny it is. It looks like it's wet, and they're constantly touching it. It's definitely an attention getter. As you all say in the classic car business, it's never done. You think it's done, and it's never done. For right now, it's done, but I'm sure I'll find other things to add to it or stuff like that.
It's a 1948 Chevy Thriftmaster, and the Thriftmaster is the bottom line, the one that had the granny gears to work in the farm, which means lower gears, a rolling chassis, and a basket case. That's the way I bought it. It was just half a motor sitting on a frame with 4 wheels on it, rear end, transmission sticking up, and you roll it out, put it in the trailer, take it home. I did it in my garage, 9 years. Basket case is like a puzzle. You piece it together piece by piece, and this is what turns out at the end. Trial and error. You gotta play a lot with the grill. You gotta align the grill a lot. You gotta align almost everything that's in here. All the electrical, you gotta play with it. You burn out a lot of fuses, you burn out this, burn that out. They keep working with it until you finally get it right. A lot of trucks that you've seen here on the show, they have Continental kits on the side, but they're skinny tires. I didn't like that. This is from a 59 Continental kit. It doesn't come to one size. You gotta get it, cut it to size, and then you gotta have it to make a full circle. It takes heating and everything else, but once you're finished, it'll fit around the tire. You gotta do it yourself. That's the point of what you're building, and dream about it.
That finishes this edition of Motorhead Garage. Join us next week where we showcase even more Chevy splendor from the Brothers Truck Show in Southern California.